Hello, friends. This month's writing video is about power and respect and how they flow through our words to the reader. This exercise applies to almost any kind of writing that you do. Emails to colleagues or friends, reports, blog posts, anything in which you're maybe giving advice or directions to the reader. Definitely this comes into play. So let's start with a simple example, making a request in email of someone to do something for you. The way many of us start this is this. Hi, so-and-so, I'm doing this thing and ran into this problem, so I need you to do this thing for me. Okay, common enough. But if you take a quick look at where the power resides in that sentence, it's all in me, the one asking. I do this, I have this problem, I have a need. What if we swap that and start with the assumption of power on the behalf of the reader? Hello, so-and-so. Can you please do this thing for me? Here's why I need it. I ran into this problem. Same content, but the focus has changed to the reader. I've given them a reason, and I've given them the power to make a judgment and do something based on their judgment. I've given them agency, and that shows respect. Another place this shows up is in prescriptive nonfiction or any nonfiction writing in which you're giving someone advice. When I work with authors, their first drafts are often filled with phrases like, it's important to do this thing, or this is critical. As a reader, this feels a bit like lecturing, right? It's not really giving me the chance to absorb why these things are important. It's just somebody telling me that they are. So one way to switch this and to give more agency and involvement to your reader is to just change that and give them the chance to understand why something is important. As an example, let's say you're leaving a note for some house guests. It's really important that you lock the door because of thefts in the neighborhood, right? You could write it that way. It's really important. Okay, people get it. They lock the door. But if it's really important that someone does something, you make a stronger impact by just saying, lock the door, please. There are a lot of thefts in the area. And if that sounds a little bit too dictatorial, you can say, check that the door's locked when you leave, because we've had a lot of thefts in the area. That third one, do you notice how that's giving the same advice? You might even have more people acting on it, because instead of just lecturing them on the importance of locking the door, you're giving them something to do that is to check that they've locked the door. So this month, take a look at things you write for other people and pay attention to whether you're claiming the authority or whether you're giving them the responsibility to make a decision and giving them some power in your relationship. Look at your emails, look at your blog posts, look for where you talk about me and I versus you. Look for words like important and critical and see if you can show the reader just a bit more respect as you write. I think you might be surprised by the difference that some small changes can make in the way that your writing lands with other people. And notice it in the things people send to you too. How do these different things make you feel as a recipient? This yoga exercise was partly inspired by Erin Labach's wonderful new workbook, the High Value Writing Workbook, in which she offers a lot of really practical exercises for understanding power and authority in your writing. So I suggest you check that out if you found this exercise useful. I'll see you next month with more writing yoga.